Every car them broken down. Every car fuck up.
Oh, that a liquor.
Every car fuck up. Everything. Watch out.
And the other 911 call came from this scene near State Road 7 and Southwest 23rd Street, where our cameras captured this BMW with its doors open. Police talking with witnesses, and we saw at least one person taken away in cuffs. Police say a man died here from his injuries after being shot. Family members later showing up to the scene overcome with emotion after learning the news. While police believe it all started at the Dunkin', they say both parties left the area following the shooting. As for what exactly did lead up to the shooting, that is unclear at this time, but the investigation shutting down the busy State Road 7 southbound for hours.
And so back out here live, taking another look at the roads to southbound 441 around Southwest 23rd Street and Southwest 21st Street. Between those two areas, that still does remain blocked off at this time for the shooting investigation. As for that man who was taken to we are told that his injuries are not life-threatening, at least so at this time, saying that they're still trying to figure out what exactly did lead up to the shooting. So they are asking for the public's help when it does come to any information that can help them solve this case. We're here in Miramar this morning. I'm Joseph Ojo.
Were fired in the area. The call took them to a Dunkin' Donuts just a few minutes north of where I am right now. Take a look at this video. When police got to the scene, they said that there were obvious signs that there was a shooting, like shell casings, and they put out evidence markers, but they didn't see any victims. That's when they got several more calls. If you come back out to me live, this is where Miramar police said they got the second call from, and they did locate a gunshot victim in the back of the BMW, which you can see is blocked off right now by that makeshift wall. That victim did not survive. Police also received a call from a hospital that another victim, alive and stable, managed to make it there, but police don't know how. At this hour, we do not know the identities of the victims, and police do not have a suspect in custody. For now, I'm live in West Park. Morgan Reiner, CBS News, Miami.
Welcome to Crime Time News and Entertainment with a Buzz. This one is called The Madness and Mayhem, the sequence to all of the crime and killings in Jamaica continue. The latest victim being a man, his name is Gary Leslie. When Mr. Leslie left his house yesterday morning, he thought that he was just going to drop off his son and a couple of other kids, 3 total to be specific, at the Russell Primary School that is in Kingston. It is said that as soon as he stepped out the vehicle, he was approached by 2 men. These 2 men were brandishing all sorts of tools. Mr. Leslie was cornered up many times in the upper body, in the head. He was rushed to the hospital. However, too late was the call. Now, people, just imagine you as a little boy going to a primary school, so we can assume that he is less than 12, 13-year-old. You see your father exit the vehicle to drop you off, and then the next thing you know, some people blaze up your father right in front of your eyes. Imagine how traumatized that child or the rest of children in that vehicle were. As a matter of fact, it is said that when all that pie up ensued, the teachers, the student, everybody had tried to take for themselves. So we can just imagine how chaotic it was for the teachers, even more the students. The good thing is that these people could have sprayed up the vehicle. However, they waited. Not to say that they did the right thing. They waited till Mr. Leslie came out the vehicle and them spray him up, and the rest of Pickney in the vehicle were unharmed. But just imagine what that little child, his son specifically, is going through. Just imagine the nightmares. Just imagine the trauma that this child is going to go through for the rest of his natural life. People, these youth don't care. And the sad thing is that whenever we see stuff like this in Jamaica, we are say, well, at least I just one person lose them life, because based on the recent disturbing trend that we've been seeing, it has been multiple mass takeaway injuries, point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news, it is called Cockmouth Kills Cock, and the truth will always come to light. A couple of months ago, there was some sorts of rumor or news spreading all over social media, in the news and in a real life, that it seems as if Jamaica financial problem might come to an end very soon. Because there was said to be some sorts of oil, a whole bunch of oil, 7 billion barrels to be specific, over an era of about 22,000 kilometers in the south somewhere off the sea, off the shore in Jamaica. And it was expected to be 3 times the gross domestic product of Jamaica. So therefore, Jamaica would be in the green instead of red, as it pertains to be broke like a joke. When that information was circulating all over social media, the energy minister, specifically Darrell Vaz, came out and he denied everything. Him said, listen, don't listen to what you're hearing in the media. It is all a lies. Just like Trump, it is fake news, fake news. As a matter of fact, here's exactly what he had to say when that rumor or news was spreading all over social media. Take a listen, take a look, and then I'll give my piece.
As minister, I can categorically state that there's no such thing. It is absolutely fake news. I, as minister, would be the first one to be excited to share any such good news if and when that happens. So until such time as you hear from me, while I'm minister, disregard all information in relation to Jamaica's discovery of oil. It is just simply untrue. Lie.
So people, that was the voice of your energy minister, Mr. Darrell Vaz. That is his portfolio. That was not any sort of AI voice. The company in question is UK-based, United Gas and Oil Company. The place, Jamaica. That was the energy minister. I am just putting into context how lie and wicked are in denial. These people are giving them the benefit of the doubts. Now, people, while I was watching the news last night, I saw an article of news pop up, and it says, United Gas and Oil Company, UK-based company, which is the same one that was in the news that was circulating a couple of months ago, said that they are in advanced stage of piston core drilling. That means that is where they use some sorts of tall cylindrical metal stuff and them drill at the core of the earth to see if the sediments or the foundation is strong enough to set up some sorts of oil rig. And that is where they can get sample of exactly what is under the earth's core. Deep, deep down, I don't know how many miles or kilometers. I am not an expert on that. What they are searching for is what they call hydrocarbon. Hydrocarbon proves that there is presence of gas or oil. The square area, which was mentioned in the rumors that they claimed before, 22,000 square kilometers of the coast south of Jamaica. The amount of barrels, if all is well, is 7 billion barrels of oil or gas, whatever them want to call it. That was the same amount that we heard. The company in question, United Gas and Oil Company from the UK. So people, when we hear the square meters that they are drilling, when we hear that 7 billion barrels, gallon or barrels of oil, it is the same. When we hear that they just received an advance, meaning extended permit that was granted to them on January 20th of 2024, which is before the rumors start circulate. They got a 2-year extension which ends January 21st, 2026. So therefore, the date in which it was extended, January 20th, 2024. So people, if we do the maths and just use common sense, it would tell you that if they got an extension on January 20th, 2024, there must have been some sorts of permit that was granted before that day. That permit was expired or was extended on the day of the 20th of January 2024. Based on what they are saying, the process is advanced. The permit which they got the extension for in or about January of 2025, that are next year, a couple of months from now, they will be expected to start that exploration where they use this drilling cylindrical object and them drill deep into the core to see if what they thought was down there is actually there, and they can reap the proceeds of their hard work. So therefore, reap what they sow. Jamaica is going to be the beneficiary too. There's going to be some sorts of joints between that company and Jamaica to see if they can seek and find that oil. Now, people, when we hear all of that, and like me say, when I heard it on the news, I made sure that I was going to take a picture and also video that is shown on the screen as I speak. So people, when we hear stuff like this, that is why I said cop mouth kills and the truth will always come to light, even though those liars are always in denial. And this is yet a next perfect example, point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news, they say that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. Well, it seems as if the people in Jamaica, the relevant authority as it pertains to our penal institution, them no learn. We see some people escape on a regular basis. We see that persons from the outside world, they are smuggling stuff into these penal institutions. And some of them are getting FUCK for trying to put stuff in the penal. Now, the latest incidents of these disturbing trend took place in the Runaway Bay Popo station on Saturday. Based on the information, it is said that off-duty Popo, they were just going about their merry business when they saw a man breach the fence, jump over the wall of that institution. When them called to the man, "Hey boy, come here," and search the bag that he had put behind the cells in the back of the Popo station, they realized that there was cigarettes, there was vegetable matter, meaning Bob Marley, and there was also a knife for the convenience of cutting up that weed in them hand middle. Needless to say, that man, 32-year-old Alfonso Horton, he was arrested and charged for introducing contraband in our penal institution. Now, people, don't you realize that this trend has been happening over and over and over? So pretty much, if we expect the mindset of the people in Jamaica to change when they have criminal friends that are locked up in these institutions and have a demand or the need for weed, the only thing can change is if the policy and the protocols of the JCF penal institution change, meaning that these permit offense are monitored by either CCTV or manned. It will not stop happening because, like I said, the main component, criminal element and their criminal facilitator, once there is money involved, once there is a need for weed or a need for cash, persons are going to keep doing the same thing until you put your foot down. And apparently, the JCF, the penal institution, they have not been doing such a great job. And this is not scientific, but if I was a betting man, I would say in all of the 50-odd states in America, chances of somebody trying to breach the fence for smuggle some sorts of weed, some sorts of contraband is very slim. And I am not saying that there is no sorts of smuggling, any sorts of weed or cocoa being infiltrated inside of these prisons. Most of the time, most of the smuggling, well, it has to come from outside. But those are going to be isolated incidents. When it comes to Jamaica, it has become the norm rather than the exception. Me just say the problem is widespread. So until the relevant authority do the right thing, the wrong thing is going to always happen. Point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news, a couple of months ago, I introduced social media to a young man. And this was based on some conversations that I was having with some people in a law enforcement locally and also internationally. And persons were letting me know that this youth is on the radar. I made a video and I told him that, listen, youth, take warning, use a young youth, probably misguided, misled, don't know where is your mother or your father. It was said that he was about 17 to 19 years old. Don't know his age. I am speaking about Pops YG. In one of the videos that I did, I said, listen, the police are going to hold on to you. If the police don't hold on to you, the people out there, meaning the ops, they are also going to hold on to you. So like I told you before, this is the Black Cat channel. Whatever I say, this is based on information, solid, valid information that I get with persons in the inner circle. I told him in no uncertain terms that he was going to be arrested if the cops don't get him before the ops get him. Lo and behold, he was arrested at some sorts of Airbnb in Trelawney. He was held with paraphernalia as it pertains to lottery scamming. Well, people, you know, say, the government and the relevant authority of the po, them hold you and you get bail. The lawyers, meaning defense lawyers, they have the court by the balls. They have the prosecutor and the judge by the balls. So therefore, he was in and out in a couple of days. He did some sorts of video warning the youths out there, listen, prison is no sorts of bed of roses. I did a couple of videos about this youth warning him, and most of the person, a lot of person, I would not say most, a lot of the facilitators, a lot of the persons that are his fans were in my comment section, and I say, a bad mind, you bad mind the youth. The youth is some sort of famous TikToker, and that is how he makes his money, from TikTok. People, me know about YouTube, me don't know about TikTok. I know TikTok to be some sort of begging, despicable platform. So when I do the maths is not adding up. That maths don't add up to any sort of Benz, specifically C43, which is one of the Benz that this youth own. No sorts of bad mind, just constructive criticism. Well, people, this youth made a video and he is telling you in no uncertain terms that, listen, yes, I am also a TikToker, but yes, I am also pulling in money from lottery scamming. I am chopping the line. I am going to let you hear from the horse's mouth itself, because people are going to say a bad mind, and people, this is no sorts of AI video, this is no sorts of editing, this is no sorts of Photoshop. You're hearing from the man himself, explaining everything in intricate details. Take a listen, take a look, and then I'll give my piece.
That's it. I notice, I mean, one some people will stay apart. Man, some boy end up on the same level, dog. Cause watch them bad mind, you see, if you alone can part, and you alone can do a thing, and you alone can scam, better for you. You notice when you apart, one bag of man rob you and sitting. I mean, alone part, dog, so no man can rob me out. If me can't pull my money where I make you get fucked. Now me I sound like a batty boy part. Tell me, I tell you, me alone part. I want a me dog. Me no part bag of man. If me and me dog, if me and one of me dog go party and me say, yo, we are going to size up them boy, and a boy we are going to figure size up. If me have $1 million, me give him half. And me say, what you know, work it with me say. Me no part boy or something, brother. Part boy or something, be a problem you get in now. Police are look for you. You good go do something now, you know, involve my yes, and him do it and Ray. No, sir. Must say mad. Mad, man. When you're alone part, better for you, man. Tell me, I tell you, when you're alone part, better for you. You know, so you can't go grow no man go link him, you know. Can't grow no one dog and go link him or something, but I ain't go nowhere. I ain't go certain place. Because I don't know where you do certain place, I may go certain place. Man go kill me. Me an innocent one. You feel like me a blood clot. I feel like I idiot this man. She feel like I idiot this. Poor it's only little boy man. Now I'm gonna get no problem.
So people, this is him telling you exactly what he is doing. He never comes straight out and say it. But if you have an iota of sense, you know exactly what he is talking about, what he is referencing. Now here's the thing, like me say, constructive criticism, this is a warning. And that is because I have a son that is a couple of years older than this youth. So therefore, as a father, you're kind of concerned when you see some people. Now, if this youth was involved in any sort of gun running, which I don't know anything about, I would have treated this different. What I realized that this youth have hustling ability. And here's the next thing that I realize. Being somebody in the game won't say specifically. I noticed that I had some friends that are duns couldn't hardly read. However, they were making millions of dollars. So therefore, you do not need any sorts of skill set when you are doing hustling. Maybe in the chappings, me don't know nothing about that. That's a new generation thing. Maybe you need some sorts of brain power. So I say this to say that these youths that are out there that are using their brains for negativity, they could use that brain for positivity. So I say this to say that if you surround yourself with persons that are doing negative stuff, it is going to infiltrate you. I told you about my son, a couple of years older than this youth. My son went to college for 1 year, was given the opportunity, not 1 year, 1 semester. Because he was doing the trading, forex trading, he said to himself, then hold on a minute. If me can get up every day and make thousands of US, why would I even go back to school to get some sort of job where I am making way less than I am making on a daily basis? It makes no sort of sense. This youth have friends, and including himself, that have the best cars that money can buy, living at the best places that money can buy or afford. All because he surrounded himself with persons that are doing positive stuff, constructive stuff. These youths out there, you better learn. The things that you are doing is going to be detrimental to your health and your freedom and your life. So therefore, take heed. Do the right thing or the wrong thing is going to do you. Constructive criticism, point blank and period. So anyways, people, thanks once again for checking out my video. If you appreciate videos like these, please show your appreciation by liking, commenting, sharing and subscribing to my channel. That is how YouTube promotes videos like these to like-minded, sensible persons like yourself. And last but not least, please subscribe to my next channel. It is called Jamaica Dancehall Source. I'll be pinning the link to that channel in the description of this video. Bless up.